tight squeeze. Small living room. Hey, thanks for joining, if you already have. How's everybody doing today? Good, I hope. I can't see the screen, so I just got the phone pointed at me. My wife's looking at the screen, so I guess if anybody says anything, she'll relay it to me. We'll wait till more people get in the room, and then I got a cold pack on here to keep everything cold. I'm also using a Ninja Foodie food processor, because you just want the stuff in chunks. You don't want it in like liquid form. How many people's on there?
I don't see a number. There's quite a few.
All right. Well, it's after 7. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I make my cichlid food. Not all foods are created equal. That's why everybody has to buy like 2 or 3. Every time you see a video of somebody feeding their cichlids, they feed them 2 or 3 different things. Or sometimes they just feed one thing. And all cichlids aren't created equal. We all know that. They all have different varieties of food. If you've seen my videos, you see me feeding my African cichlids lettuce, red leaf lettuce. It's good in vitamins. It's great for them. But I'm not saying not to feed them flake food or whatever, but this is a healthier version. It's homemade, it saves money, and it lasts a long time. I'm going to make 2 different types, and it's up to you. I mean, you mix and match the ingredients the way you prefer them for your fish. This is just what I use for mine, okay? Now, everybody knows that for color and protein, cichlids, they like krill, salmon, they like black worms. It's good for coloring. It's all right for protein, not all that great. Wild sword prawns, mysis shrimp, brine shrimp, but they also need their vitamins, which comes in like chlorella, which I got some of that. It's chlorella powder. You can add that to it. Spirulina, which I couldn't find any except for the flakes, so I got spirulina flakes. And I have, believe it or not, most of this stuff you can pick up at a grocery store, believe it or not. You can use peas and carrots, because one of the main things for color enhancing in cichlids is carotenoids. Hope I said that right, carotenoids, which you can find in carrots. The peas is good in for their vitamins. So, all right, I guess let's get down to it. Let me get a measuring spoon. I forgot to get a measuring spoon. If anybody has any questions, go ahead and ask, and then Sarah can relay them to me. Okay. Now I said you didn't want to use this you didn't want to make it liquid form, but if you wanted to, you could make this liquid form, put this on a sheet pan, and put it in your dehydrator. If you have a dehydrator, put it in dehydrator until it becomes flake, and then you have your flake food. Making your own foods is very easy, but I'm going to show you the gelatin form, how to make the gelatin form, and how to make your frozen. You can make a batch to last a whole month if you wanted. So here we go. Let me get my knife out. Turn this. Well, let's not have it plugged in. Let me plug it in. Yeah, it's plugged in. Oh man, something's wrong with the blender. Alright, anyway, something's wrong with my blender. Well, that's great. So anyway, you put hold on, let me check something real quick. Might have to move this in the kitchen. That really sucks. Let me see the blender talk. Alright, had to switch top. Sorry about that. The other one's not locking in place. Alright. Sarah's making doing the jello real quick. What? It just came on over there. It's not plugged into that one. What in the world is going on? Everybody leave already?
No.
Technical difficulties. I don't think it's the plug. I think it's this thing. These damn expensive ass. Or are you kidding me?
If it ain't one thing, it's another.
Oh. People wonder why I get frustrated. Okay. Now it's working. Now it's working. Alright. You got the jello going? Okay. Here we go. Put a whole bag of peas and carrots. Now this recipe has this, you change it any which way you want. This is chlorella powder. My wife, she raises Daphne, and this is what she feeds them. But this is a great source of vitamins. This is 1 teaspoon. I put 4 of these per 1 bag of peas and carrots. All right. Shrimp. I don't use Gulf shrimp. I try to get it from the North Coast. Gulf shrimp has a lot of iodine in it. I don't want my fish to have a lot of iodine. To that, probably about a half a pound of shrimp. You can also use salmon. I just don't have any right now. They love salmon. What is it? Oh, okay. She's ready with the. This is frozen mysis shrimp. I use, oh God. Usually I get it in a brick like this, but they didn't have them. They were out. Put probably about 6 to 8 cubes. Now, like I said, you can adjust this any way you want. You want them to have more protein, add more protein. All right, there's that. Now, this is brine shrimp. I always like to get these bricks. I use half a brick. This is, let's see, 8 ounces, so I use about 4 ounces. Put that in there. Let's see, about half, no, a little more. Okay, about half, so about 8 ounces. Now, the spirulina, that's a must-have for them. So, I couldn't find the powder, or all I could find is the flake form. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use probably about 2 cups. About 2 cups. Let me have a half a cup of water. And then we use distilled water or RO water or drinking water. I don't use water from the tap. Hold on, let me wash my hands. Use a half cup of water. Go ahead and chop it up. And I didn't want to use the blender. I wanted to use the other. Let me see what it does. What the heck? What'd it do? You want it in chunks. You don't want liquid form and make your water all dirty. You know? Now there's a product out there. I can't remember the name of it. I've got a bad memory. Have some issues. But anyway, there's a product out there. You add water to it and it gels up. And somebody said they were interested in buying that, but it's so expensive. It is so much easier to make it yourself. And that's just by adding gelatin. That's what they do. You make this mixture, and then you add a gelatin packet. Which I'm making, one gelatin packet is for half a cup of water. This is for up to 2 cups of, a full cup of gelatin. So that's 2 packets of gelatin you can add to this. And then I put it in a tray like this. And then once a day I'll come in and I'll cut it and I'll put it in with my cichlids. All my fish eat it. All my cichlids. Then the frozen, we have these little frozen cube chingasos. We'll put them in. Yeah. Lift. All right, now she's got the gelatin ready. You make it do the gelatin's directions on the package. You just pour that in. Then pour. Let me get Chingaso to stir around. Now this is all the vitamin, everything they need to keep them healthy. Keep their color bright. I have to add just a little bit more water. Yeah, just a little bit more water. So that's 1 full cup of gelatin, and then let me get another cup of water. Well, about 1.5 cups, so that's 2 cups of water. All right. Push everything down, make sure it gets in there real good. All right. You watching that Harley Pup? Harley's over there watching us. Probably want some. All right, let's see here. Got a little bit more. I don't let it keep going. I want to pulse it. I want it in chunky. I don't want it liquid. You take a look at it. Once when it gets to the consistency you like, stop. Almost there. A little too chunky for the little ones. Stir it around. After I'm done, I'll take you and show you the update. We changed our mind again on the aquarium stand. No more 350 gallon plywood aquarium. I'll get into that later. Okay. Add the rest of the water. If you notice on some of the dry foods and the pellet foods, it says some of the ingredients is like cornmeal, fish meal. What the hell's fish meal? Grind up fish, dead fish? That's what started getting me into learning how to make my own food. I mean, fish in the wild don't eat fish meal. They don't eat cornmeal. They eat stuff like this. Why you gotta be like that? Like I said, get to the consistency you want. If you got bigger cichlids, leave it in bigger chunks. I got a mix because mine just keep throwing out babies like crazy. Anybody want to adopt some, you can have some. I'll give them to you. Okay. Let me get rid of some of this stuff here. Take it in the kitchen right there. Get it out of the way. Now don't get me wrong, I do still feed my fish pellets. I like to feed them the extreme pellets. But I'd rather feed them this. Okay. Now since it isn't, ooh, it stinks. It don't smell too good, I'll tell you that. It's thick. Which you don't want it running. Thick, that means, sorry, it's loud. Alright, fill up your trays. It's going to take me a couple batches. Let's see. So if you want to save money, this is the way to go. They're healthy. They get everything they need. And this food probably, depending on how big a batch you make, it could last you a year in the freezer. I have a hydrator, a vacuum sealer. So I let it freeze. And then I put individual bags for every month. And then I'll take like one bag, I'll take the stuff I'll need out for 1 week, I'll take it out and then keep rotating every week out of that. And then the next month I'll go get another bag. But it lasts a long time. Fish food companies would probably hate to see this. But this is all it is. You know? It's all it is. There's nothing difficult to it. Nothing at all. Everybody thinks that, oh, you gotta have this, you gotta have, no. It's pretty much common stuff. And like I said, if your fish like flake food, you can even put this in a food dehydrator and flake it. All right, now this one I'll put in the fridge, and that'll gel up, and that'll be for them all next week. What I'll do is, when this gels up, I'll take out half of these and put them in a bag and put them in the freezer for all this week, or all next week. I mean, put half of it in the freezer, and then the other half I'll keep in the refrigerator in each one of these, because I feed my cichlids 3 times a day. I know that sounds like a lot, but it keeps the aggression down. I have a great bottom cleaning crew that cleans up any food that they don't eat. And I think that's the key to a healthy aquarium, is to have the full 360. Everybody's so afraid you can't put this with cichlid. I see so many African cichlid tanks that they're beautiful tanks, but all they have is just cichlids. And to each his own. You know, everybody can do what they want. I have nothing against anything anybody does. If it makes them happy, if they think it's beautiful, that's fantastic. Me, personally, I like an all-around aquarium. That means if I'm going to have, you know, cichlids in there and stuff, and I like to have a great bottom crew, like Corridoras, bristlenose plecos, lemon plecos, yo-yo loaches. I love the yo-yo loaches. Those things are so cool. And I have those in almost every one of my tanks. I do like the Chinese algae eaters. They're great. But as soon as they become older, they become aggressive. And if you start noticing like some scales missing off of some of your fish, it's because of them. They latch onto them. I like the golden Chinese algae eaters. They don't get as big, they don't get as aggressive, and they eat algae. They do a hell of a job. They great bottom feeders. Catfishes, those are great bottom feeders. But I believe if you're going to have an aquarium, you know, make it for the fish. Plenty of hiding spaces, like when you do aquascapes, you want plenty of hiding spaces. I mean, when they go in nature, they're just not swimming right out in the middle of the open, you know. I know we all want them to, because we want to see them constantly, but me personally, I'd rather watch them in more of a natural atmosphere. Coming in and out of caves, going into roots, like the new aquarium I'm getting ready to do back here. If you've been following my page or my channel or whatever the hell it is, you saw me build the stand, and then we put the aquarium up here. Now I'm just waiting for the filters and some more wood for the background. What I'm going to do is have it look like a riverscape with roots coming out of the back in between rocks and stuff, so the fish can swim in between it. But I'm going to have a great cleanup crew. And that's the key to having an awesome aquarium, I think. Besides having your pH level and all your levels and making sure they're fed right and everything, you can overfeed your tank if you have a great bottom crew. If you have a saltwater aquarium, everybody that owns a saltwater aquarium knows the key to having a successful reef tank is your cleanup crew. Your red leg crabs, your blue leg crabs, cleaner shrimp, snails. All those are important. The same thing with regular aquariums. All right, let's fill these up. Anybody have any questions? Sarah's right there, so you can see the screen. If you have a question for me, you can ask. I'm gonna finish filling these up, and then these purple ones is one that I put in the freezer. I've been putting them in big freezer ice cube trays, but Sarah just bought these the other day off of Amazon. This stuff does stink. I do want you to know that. Doesn't smell pretty. But that's how you know it's good. Oh, shit. Something I forgot is garlic. Put 2 cloves of garlic in there. Damn, I forgot. I forgot all about it. Garlic is very important. Seachem even has a product called Garlic Guard, and it helps deter from common diseases that's in fish. It's very important for them. It's a flavor enhancer. It helps them. They love garlic. Just put it that way, and it's good for them. Put 2 cloves in that. I forgot all about it. I'm sorry. Anyway, let's fill these up. And I just want to say I'm just a normal aquarist like everybody else. I do not know everything. I'm just sharing what I do know. And if it helps somebody out, that's awesome. If somebody knows more than me, that's awesome too. I don't claim to know everything. Don't try to. But we can all learn from one another. We're all I used to belong to a motorcycle group. We were all like brothers, help each other out. And since I got into the aquarium community, it's kind of similar to that, you know. We all kind of know tensions. It's just all everybody loving fish. Oh, you can look at your phone and tell me if anybody says anything. My wife, make sure you guys go and check out her channel. She's kind of competing with me with all her fish and everything.
Nano.
But she's got nano tanks. I got big aquariums. All my aquariums are 40 gallons and above. Hers are all 20 gallons and under. So, but she's got beautiful, beautiful fish, and she just got into it. She's nervous about the getting on camera and stuff, so she's just taking videos of the fish. So, you know, go check her out at Mother Guse on TikTok. Check it out. All right. I don't know if you can see let me see. See, this is about the consistency I like. If you can see that. Can you see that? Can you see the consistency of that? That's about the consistency I like. They eat it so fast, it does not cloud your tank. But it may, depending on, you know, how much of what you put in there. But the gelatin, that's made with collagen, I believe, and that's good for fish also. I'm about the messiest person. Anybody have any questions, anything to say? I won't be the only one talking. I can't see the screen because I got the phone facing towards me and the screen facing the other way. My wife's looking at the screen, but whoever's joined us, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I have a goal. Help me with my goal. It helps keep these fish swimming and eating well. Every little bit helps. I'm not used to all this TikTok stuff. I'm just learning about it, so bear with me. I do have a subscription on there. I just don't know what to do with it. I'm learning though, so I'm learning. My old millennial. Just working with my hands, not all that computer stuff, social media. It's all new to me. But I could use the help. Please help me complete my goal. It really means a lot. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. You know, I do have a YouTube channel. I just haven't got it kicked off yet. I'd rather just post videos, but it's all good. Believe it or not, this batch right here will last me 6 months. At least 6 months. Well, with all these new aquariums about to go up, I don't know. Might not. Now when these get done, these will be in the freezer. And when these get done freezing, I'll take them out and then I'll put them in I have like an ice container, a container that holds the ice cube, basically, a small one. And then I'll dump them out in that. And then in the evening I'll just go and pull them out of there. Or I'll take these and I'll put them in my vacuum sealer and freeze them. These will actually last a very long time in the freezer. Very long time. Alright, one more. Hey babe, will you grab that thing these came in, that square chingazo? Yeah, this might even last longer than 6 months. Yeah, black worms is real good too. A lot of people feed them, feed their fish live black worms, California black worms. You can find them freeze dried. The only thing is most of these companies, they put their protein levels and stuff like that on there. But what they're not considering is that to make flake food and pellet food and all that, you have to heat it up. When you heat it up, you lose vitamins. You lose nutrition value.
Someone's asking you to repeat the ingredients.
You want the ingredients? Okay, give me a second. Let me finish putting this in, and I'll give you the ingredients. All right. Let me get this one filled and put this in here, and I'll put them up and I'll get you the ingredients. I've got an hour and a half to waste. All right. Damn, I don't think you can get them in there. Oh, well. Like that. Alright, put them in there. Put these in the freezer. And then put these in the fridge. And then these will gel. And then you use these to feed them for this week or whatever. That's what I'll use. These will freeze. You take them out of the cubes, you take them out, and I've got a vacuum seal. I'll vacuum seal them, divide them into each month. Each one of these is a month. Each one of those is a month. So just think about how much money you just saved. And it only probably cost me $20 in ingredients, if that. So, and we all know cichlid food isn't cheap. And I'll show you before we get off of here, I'll show you some of my cichlids. They're beautiful, beautiful cichlids. And people might say I brag, but I don't care. I love my fish. I spend a lot of money on them. I treat them very well. I love my fish. Let me get this out of my way. And I'll bring some of that stuff in here and I'll show you the ingredients. thought you was gonna grab that. Okay. I'll go over the ingredients. Okay. Now you can use, I've got a list. And you can use different combinations. I mean, hell, be a mad scientist. Make up your own, you know, different ingredients. You can use any combination you want. All these are beneficial for your fish. The only thing you need to find out is what yours thrive on, basically. You know, does your cichlids thrive on more vegetable, on more vitamin, or more protein? You know, there's a balance in between there. It's just up to you to find your own balance. Now, all these ingredients I'm going to give you is based on one package of peas and carrots. That is 16 ounces, 1 pound. Okay, peas and carrots. I live in South Texas. Get HEB. Cheap. The reason you want the carrots is because it has carotenoids in it. That helps with the color. The peas for your vitamins, for the health of your fish. Now, I use mysis. I usually use the brick of mysis, frozen mysis. But I couldn't find the brick, so I had to use the cubes. Now, if you use the cubes, I use 6 to 8 cubes for 1 bag of peas. 2 cloves of garlic. Garlic is awesome. It's a flavor enhancer. Also, Seachem has a chemical called garlic guard, which helps prevent some diseases. So that's good to put in there. Helps them eat. Chlorella. Now, all I could find was the powder. Okay? So if all you can find is the powder, use 4 teaspoons for 1 pound bag of peas and carrots. Then I used brine shrimp. The brine shrimp, I used 4 ounces. You can adjust that. If you need more protein, use more. If you need less, use less. Same thing with the mysis. Although these are for the protein. You can also use krill, wild sword prawns, and you can use black worms and salmon. My fish love salmon. Try that sometime. Next time you get salmon to grill out, just slice you a little piece, feed it to your African cichlids. Watch them; they'll go nuts. They love it.
Someone asked, are the peas peeled or do you blend them whole?
Blend them whole. Just blend them whole, but make sure they're frozen. If you blend them while they're thawed, it gets too runny, too soupy. It won't chunk up. Okay, you want it in chunks. You don't want to liquefy it.
And someone asked, what kind of cichlids are you feeding?
The cichlids I'm feeding, believe it or not, I'm all kinds of cichlids. South American, Central American, mainly African cichlid. African peacocks, Tanganyika, Malawi, all my fish are pretty much cichlids, and all of them love this food. They benefit from it. They're all bright. I'll show you before I sign off. I will take my phone and I'll show you my aquariums. I'll show you my fish. They're beautiful. I love them. All right. Now, on top of that is spirulina floating flakes. I couldn't find the powder and I couldn't find the leaf form. But this is also beneficial for them, for their color and their health, their vitamins. So I've got the spirulina flakes, and I use 2 cups. This is very, very important for them, very healthy for them. I use 2 cups for the 1 bag of peas. And then you blend it up. I used 2 cups of water and 1 cup of gelatin water. Mix it to your directions. Each package of gelatin that I use calls for a half a cup of water. I needed 1 cup of water of gelatin, so I used 2 packs of gelatin for 1 cup of water. And then that's it. You just put it in your tray, put it in your refrigerator overnight, and you can start feeding it to them. You break it up. A lot of those things online that you want to use, man, you could actually do yourself. You could also take this, if you wanted to make it flake form, you could liquefy it more into more of a liquid form. Put it on a sheet pan, a small sheet pan, and put it in a dehydrator, or put it in your oven at like 180 degrees for about 6 hours, 6 or 7 hours. Just like if you was making beef jerky, same thing. You just wait till it dries out enough to where it's a flake form, and then there you go. It's the same thing. There's no difference. The only thing this is straight protein. This is straight vitamins. You know, it's not watered down, it's not washed out, so you can make a profit like a lot of companies.
What is the stuff in the little green box on the corner of the tray?
This is chlorella. This is an algae that is found in almost every single water that every fish eats. This is very, very vital for their health and their vitamins. It provides a lot of vitamins for fish. Also, my wife, she is breeding or raising Daphnia, and this is what they eat. But this is very vital for the fish, also for their color. If you look in a lot of fish food ingredients, the chlorella is in the ingredients, is one of the ingredients. But yeah, I used to, all the aquariums that I have about 12 right now, and soon to be close to 20, which we do have 20 aquariums, just not all of them's running yet. We had to take a couple of them down. But we go through a lot of fish food. I probably go through when I was feeding nothing but flakes and pellets, I was probably going through $100, about $150 every 4 to 6 months. Now, since I make my own, that's cut in half. That's like $50 every 6 months. I mean, this only costs, all this together, all these ingredients only cost me maybe 20 bucks. And I made enough to last me, oh my goodness, at least 6 months worth. So right there, it saves you money. And it's everything your fish are going to love. They're going to love it. When you feed it to them, you will see a difference in your fish. You will see a difference. Give it a week, maybe 3 or 4 days, maybe a week, and you will see a difference in your fish color. Their behavior, maybe. It really does a difference. Did anybody have anything to say or have any questions? Talk about anything?
What is gelatin water? I have this stuff called Sure Gel by Certo. Is that good enough?
Hold on. Let's see. I'll show you where the gelatin is. Just plain unflavored gelatin in the baking oil.
Sure Gel is what you put in jellies.
Yeah. Where is it? Where is it? What'd you do? There was a box right here. There was a box right here. Yes, you can use Sure Gel if that's what they use to make jellies with jelly. That's the exact same thing. Gelatin, same thing. But that's what I used. Unflavored gelatin, right there. Just make it to the package directions. But for one bag, you need at least 1 cup of gelatin. Now, after you make it, if it doesn't bind the way you want and you think it needs to bind better, add another cup or another half a cup. I mean, make it to your specifications. I'm telling you right now, as soon as this hits the water, it doesn't last long enough. My fish is gone. It's gone. So, but if you feel that it does need more binding, use more. It's up to you. I'm just giving you a base. This is just a start for you. Like I said, you can mix and match these ingredients any way you want. Any way you want. Anybody have any more questions? And like I said, I'm just a normal guy that loves aquariums, that I'm a DIYer. I love doing things myself. I love doing experiments. I love doing, building things myself, and I love my aquariums. I know I've said it, but I had to say it again. And everybody watching this channel, you must also, or else you wouldn't be watching. So anytime I try to find a way to save money and make my fish, my pets, that's what I consider them, my pets, to make them healthier, I'll do it,
How's the big 125-gallon stand coming?
Yeah, it came great. If you can see, right there it is. Got it. Drawers open. Got that. Yep, it's coming great. Now the only thing is we're not doing the 300 gallon no more. The 350 gallons on each end, we're not doing no more. It's just not cost effective. I'm not working right now. It's hard to find work. All I'm doing is TikTok, and that's like really, really slow. And we have a lot of aquariums that we have no room for. So
Jovan Guerrero 89 says that looks awesome and great.
awesome, thank you, appreciate it. It took a lot of work, but like I was saying, we have a lot of aquariums that's just sitting around. We need something to do with them. So on the left side of the 125, I'm building the same type of cabinet on both sides, and I'm going similar to the original plan. I was going to have a 125, and then a 50. But now I'm going to have this as a display in the center, the 125. It's going to be river themed. How I'm going to escape it is going to be river themed. I'm putting all of my Frentosas and my blue Acaras in here. And I have a polar blue parrot I'm going to put in here also. And I'm going to put some other fish.
Jovan said, I was messaging you about 2 weeks ago. I was the guy with the cichlid tank that won't stop breeding.
Oh yeah, I remember you. They still breeding? Mine just had babies, and so it's funny that you say that. Yeah, mine just had babies. The Tanganyikan, one of the Tanganyikans just had babies again. I got to get these tanks set up and get them separated. Yeah, you need a bigger tank, brother. You need bigger tank. But on the left side of it, I'm going to have a 70. I have a 75 that I need to reseal. I got off somebody real cheap. I think I paid like $20 for it. It just needs to be resealed. So I'm going to set that up over here. I'm going to get the blue cichlids, the Dasani, Dasoni. I'm sorry. I'm a redneck. I can't talk right. I don't know these names. But anyway, the black and blue Malawi cichlids are going in that. Then over here, I'm taking the 60-gallon South American tank that I have set up. I'm separating them. Oh, they're getting big and they're starting to beat up on each other. I gotta get them separated. I gotta separate them. So I'm gonna put the green terrors probably where the blue cars are now, and then I'm gonna put the Severums, keep them in the 60, but put that over here. Then behind the sofa, I'm building a stand for my African Cichlid tank, the 125. Then I'm going to tear that stand apart, and that's where we're going to build the big plywood aquarium. I'm talking probably 600-gallon plywood aquarium, 700-gallon plywood aquarium. And but I mean, all that's in the future. It's in the future. I gotta watch what I spend. I'm not working right now. My wife's the only one working. All I'm doing is staying home, take care of these fish, posting videos. So anyway, anybody wants to sponsor me, you can sponsor. Higer.
He just found 5 more orange zebras with a mouthful of eggs.
Oh my goodness. You need more aquariums, man. You need bigger aquariums. I think your biggest one's 55? 50, I think you said? Is that right? Man, you ought to talk to your local fish store. See if they'll take some. Here's my drink. So, what do you all feed your fish? What's your favorite fish food?
Manny's AZ Cichlid Shack says same here, but with only peacocks.
What's that? Same here.
I guess a bunch of babies.
Bunch of babies, yeah. I've got, oh my God, I got a tank, 40-gallon breeder full of sunshine peacocks. But I can't tell if any of them are male. So far, they're only about 1.5 to 2 inches. And they all look like females, which really suck. So I don't know what to do with them. Then I have another batch out of my OB kaleidoscope peacock. And he bred with another OB, and there is some males in there that are beautiful, stunning. Before I get off here, I'll show them to you.
Jovan said, I tried that. They said I have to be a reputable breeder to give them to a shop.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah. Well, you'd have to find a mom and pop shop.
Sav Smiles 1314 says brine shrimp, mysis shrimp, bloodworms, and algae wafers. I guess that's what he feeds his.
Yeah. I mean, that's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, algae wafers, believe it or not, those have spirulina in them and the chlorella. And all those algae wafers has chlorella in it. Every one of them.
Manny's AZ Cichlid Shack. I just got a batch of those. I bred first batch back to him. So it's a F1 mom and F2 fry.
Ooh. Those would be pretty. Beautiful. Yep. Ah. Yeah, I'm just getting used to this live stuff. I don't know really what all to do. I got enough. I got plenty of followers to, subscribe, to have people subscribe. I just don't know what to offer to subscribe.
Sav Smiles 1314. My brine shrimp have the spirulina in it. They come frozen with it.
Oh, yeah, there you go. There you go. That's awesome. Yeah, I don't even think. Yeah, most of these, this is just
Jovan, any tips on how to grow out peacocks?
how to grow out peacocks. You have to do it in a 40-gallon breeder or bigger. And the best thing to do is to grow them out. If you want all males, put them with all males. If you're going to have a 40-gallon breeder, only put up to 3, and then they'll get up to size. You have to feed them though. You're thinking of they get anywhere between 6 to 8 inches depending on what type of peacocks you have. Now, to get them bigger, the bigger enclosure, the bigger environment they're in, the bigger the fish will grow. So to subsidize for that, if you have a 40-gallon breeder and you're trying to grow them out, you feed them more. I feed mine three times a day. Mine grow out pretty quick. They go probably from 2.5 inches to probably 4 inches within 2 to 3 months.
Manny's A to Z Cichlid Shack, he says, and hybrids, tie lace batch as well.
Ooh, I bet those are pretty. Yeah, I only have local breeders. Now I did find out there's a Gonzales Cichlid breeder up in Gonzales, Texas, right up the road, probably 30 miles away. I would like to get in contact with him and check his place out. Maybe take a video, maybe go live, show you guys a breeder and stuff like that. I have to see how that goes. But other than that, all I've got is PetSmart and what's the other? Pet Depot?
Pet Supply.
Yeah, Pet Supply Depot or something like that. And they really don't have a great supply. All the other fish you have to order, and I haven't been able to order any. All the fish I have, I've just gotten locally, and I've just been lucky to come across what I have. When I first got into African cichlids a little over a year ago, I didn't know how to tell male from female. I do now, very easily, I could tell. But I didn't know then. So when I go to the box store, they say, oh, Sunshine Peacock, and show a picture of it, oh, wonderful. And you buy it, and it turns out it's a female and it don't color up. Or they're bright, or how about this? You'll go and the fish is real bright in color because it's been force-fed color enhancers, okay? You get it home and then it dulls in color. The color goes away and you're like, what the hell happened, da-da-da-da, and you're all upset. That's normal. That's normal. They just feed those color enhancers to sell the fish.
Sav Smile says you can also check out Facebook for local breeders.
Yeah.
Or people looking to rehome.
Yeah, you can do that. Now I did find out on Facebook Marketplace you cannot sell live fish. So you got to do a little keyboard pirate and chingasale in order to, get it across. But
How do you tell if they are female or male? I struggle sometimes when I'm at the store. From Jovan Guerrero, 89.
okay. On peacocks, there's 2 main ways. Actually 3. They're bright in color. Everybody knows that. But when they're young and dull in color, look for the egg spot by their anal fin. Okay? They have little egg spots. Now, sometimes you'll come across a female that has egg spots, but they're not prominent. Males will be very prominent. Also, their top dorsal fin will come over and point towards their tail. A female, their dorsal fin will be rounded, more rounded than the males. But that's how you tell. But mainly you can tell by the egg spots. My lights are fixed ready to change color for the evening. Here, I'll take you guys around and I'll give you an update on my fish because they're fixed ready. I have a 24/7 setting on them and the lights are fixed ready to go down for the evening and then go out. So I'll show you real quick. Okay. Well, I don't have everything for it yet. I just got the substrate and everything. Just taking my time, getting ready to set that up. But here's the blue cars, and now these guys are going in the 125. My blue cars and Frentosas. I love my Frentosa. And then there's my electric blue Jack Dempsey. I love him. He's beautiful. Beautiful fish. It's a chocolate lemon. Never heard of that. Placo. Got a few little panda cories in there. Alright. There's my wife's 20 gallon. And then here's my South and Central American. See, they're getting big. I have to get them separated. I have to. Look at that green terror. He is beautiful. Look at him light up. That's not color enhancing. That's the light. It's going into shutdown mode, like into evening mode, like a sunset, like how the sunset goes. Now look, my fish are beautiful. Bright in color. They're healthy. Look how stocky they are. That one's breeding. She was breeding with him. So I hope she starts holding. If she starts brooding, I think I'm going to get them. Because I would really love to see what they look like. Really love to see that. Well, that's all them guys. All right, well, let's go. I'll show you. That's where we put some of the babies to let them grow out to about 1.5 inches, close to 2 inches. Then we'll put them in a bigger tank. Here is all the sunshine. Now see, all of these look like females. Every single one of them. Well, there's a male. He's a male. That's a male. Right there. He's a male. See how he's got more yellow in him than the rest of them? And if you look, he's already getting spots on his anal fin. See how the females don't?
Sad Smiles is asking, what would you recommend feeding them to enhance their color?
Their color, anything with carotene in it. And then here's the grow out tank. This is a 55. Now these, the angels, are going in the 125. Now I had to put bubblers in there because our AC went out and my tank started overheating bad, and I don't have a chiller. So I went ahead and I put 4 air stones in there, and what that does is it starts circulating. Believe it or not, it lowered the temperature 2.5 degrees. 2.5 degrees. So if that ever happens to you and you need to lower your temperature a few degrees, add some air stones, rapid air stones. And then here's the little 10 gallon I got beside the bed, just set up. Just have a couple quarries in it. That's it. All right. Now I'll show you the other babies. Show you the other babies. Now here's my wife's guppies. This is her guppy tank. She breeds, and she got a little beta in there. But here we go. Look, see, there's a male. See how colorful he is?
We have some comments.
Yeah, some will start showing color at a young age. Some will, some won't. If you really want to know, keep an eye on the anal fin. The males will have the egg spots. Prominent egg spots on them, big ones. And then the top fin will usually come over, point towards the tail. Females will be rounder, like round. Let me see. See, that's a male. See how his tail's pointy? And then he's got the prominent egg spots. Man, I wish my phone would You can see the egg spots on him. Wish he'd fan out a little better. The anal fin, you can see them. They're real bright. I got several males in here growing out. My wife got me a white spot the other day, cichlid. Oh. And then here's her Daphne. She's growing out to feed her pea puffers. You want to see her pea puffers? I'll show you her pea puffers. Look, there's her goby, her little bumblebee goby. There's her little pea puffers. They come say hi. They like the camera. All right, let's go back and answer some questions or whatever. See how my lights, they change? They do it automatically. I love these Hygger lights. These Hygger lights are awesome. And if you're worried about them growing plants, look at my plants. If you look at all my tanks, all my plants grow good. Java fern grows slow, but that jungle veil grows like a weed. The Java ferns. And whoever says you can't, whoever says you cannot grow plants in a cichlid tank is wrong. It's how you do it. It's how you do it. I know there's men that's out there, or people that's been out there doing it longer than I have, and they just haven't gotten it yet. Been out there doing it longer than I have, and they just haven't gotten it yet. But there's a way to do it. Best thing to do is you take mesh bags. Hold on, I'm setting this back up. Oh, hold on. Let me grab a mesh bag. I'll show you. I'll show you. Okay. Here, babe. Let me know what people say. I can't see the screen.
Hygger lights are amazing. Mine are Hygger with the day and night cycle 2. That's from Sav Smiles 1314.
Do you have the Hygger lights with the remote? The advanced ones with the remote? That's the ones I have. I love those. I do have the Hygger light that has the control on the side, the 24-hour control, the touch. I can't stand that because I got plants around my aquariums, and a leaf, every damn time a leaf touches that, it changes the settings. I hate that.
Not the remote, but I have the control on the side.
Yeah. They are so touchy. They're awesome lights. I'm not putting them down. I just don't like that they're so sensitive. They should have put a lock button on it. So once when you have your settings done, you hit the lock button and it locks it. So if anything brushes onto that, it will not change it. But as for right now, a damn leaf touches it and it changes the settings, and I can't stand that. It bugs me. I've got that set of light on my 55. But on everyone else, I have the ones with the remote. I love that. I've had them on there for over a year. I've only adjusted them a couple of times because I wanted a different color tone setting as the lights were coming on and going off. But other than that, I haven't had to mess with them. I don't. Every single day they come on the exact same time. They come on a light power. They don't even come up to full power. They come on at 7:30, but they don't even come up to full power until 1:30. And then they're on full power until about 8 o'clock. And then as soon as 8 o'clock comes, then they start shutting down again. And then they completely turn off at 10. But if you want plants in an African cichlid tank, I'm going to tell you how to do it. Okay? You see these bags, these mesh bags. Okay? Take your whatever substrate you use, your plant substrate. I like using crushed lava rock. Take crushed lava rock and into chunks about like that, or like that. Just crush it up to as big as you want, and then put those fertilizer capsules that you put in the sand. You take those and you sprinkle in there, and then you take this, you put it under where you're going to plant. Okay? Then you put your substrate over it. Then you plant on top of this. What happens is the roots come down and they embed into the mesh of the bag. So when the cichlids want to come and move your plants, because that's what they do, they'll dig around it, and then they'll try and pull them up. They can't pull them up. That's why people say you can't have planted tank with cichlids because they pull them up. Well, if you have this, they can't pull them up.
Sav Smiles 1314 says that's genius.
When believe it or not, my electric blower cars, we'll sit here and we'll laugh all the time because you'll see them sitting there with the jungle veil and just grabbing it and just like playing tug of war with it, and I just laugh because there's no way they're going to pull the roots out of this, and it's just funny to watch them. And they'll sit there and they'll tug on it, and then they'll just go away. They don't chew on it or anything like that. Blower cars, when they find a place that they like, if there's something there that they don't want there, they'll try and move it. Plants, rocks, it don't matter. They'll do it. And usually they do it when they're ready to breed. But it's funny that they did it because I had them in my African Cichlid tank for a while when they were growing out and stuff. And then I got this 65 and I moved them into there. But they used to do it in my African Cichlid tank, and I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was funny watching them. But anyway, that's how you do that. And then for Java ferns, you could get, the best things to get is the spiky Java fern. The spiky Java fern isn't spiky to us, but spiky to them. The leaves on it have little tiny micro spikes on it, and it hurts their lips. They'll go and they'll touch it, and then they'll just back off of it and leave it alone. In my 125 African tank, if you look, when I showed you it just a few minutes ago, you seen the Java ferns. Those are spiky Java ferns. They don't like that. And then also there's another one called Thor's Hammer, it looks like it's a Java fern, but it looks like a fist at the end of it, or a spike, or oh, what's that? What's the king of the ocean?
Tried it.
A trident. It looks like a trident. Trident Java fern. Amazon sword is all right. I don't like it in my African Cichlid tank. It doesn't do good because African Cichlid's like a higher GH and a KH, and those type of swords, Amazon sword and a KH, and those type of swords, Amazon swords, they don't like that. They don't mind a higher pH, but a way lower GH. They do a lot better in that kind of environment. That's why they do good in my South American tank and my electric blue car tank. They do, it does good in there. But I can't put them in there because they'll just wilt and die. They'll turn brown, they'll just melt and fade away because of the high GH and KH. Plus the salt content. A lot of plants don't like a high salt content. If you have African cichlids, we all know that they're from the Rift Lakes. The Rift Lakes are leftover saltwater lakes. So that's why you have to get the Rift Lake salt additive for the peacock cichlids. That's beneficial for them. It provides all their minerals. Keeps them healthy. That's what that is. All right, now what? What do you guys want to talk about? I love my OBs. It's wild how OBs got so popular, I believe. A lot of people didn't like them for a long time. They just liked the, commons, the yellow bags, the
Sav
sunshine.
Smile says how to grow Daphnia.
Daphnia? Oh my God, you need to talk to my wife about that. I don't grow them.
Just water.
Just water, and you use chlorella, and they have it. Honestly, it's simple. The guy that my wife bought her Daphnia from, we watched a video of his, And he actually leaves his in a tub, outside, no aeration, no filtration, so, right beside his garage. And he grows all of his Daphne out in that. And he feeds them chlorella powder. That's it. You don't even need filtration. They're so tiny that, hell, I need them. I got to put my glasses on to see them. I don't see how my wife sees them. I guess she's got to put her glasses on too. But you can't have filtration because of that reason. You could use a small, tiny sponge filter if you wanted to.
But you don't want bubbles in the water. It gets under their shells and it drowns them.
Oh, you don't want bubbles under their shells. You don't want bubbles in the water because it gets under their shells and it drowns them. See? Bubbles under their shells. You don't want bubbles in the water because it gets under their shells and it drowns them. See? I didn't know that. My wife just told me. See, she's the Daphne person. But she started growing it about a month ago.
Manny's AZ Cichlid Shack. I got a first batch of yellow OB coming.
Yeah, I'd like to have. I've seen those yellow OBs with the blue face. Oh my God, I'd love to have one of those. They are beautiful. But, I mean, we went to Houston one day. My wife, she was off work, and I think it was on our anniversary. And we went to Houston. I swear we went to probably 5 or 6 different aquarium shops. We couldn't find any, really beautiful fish that we wanted. Nice OBs, not even African cichlids.
Mr. Cichlid Dude said, I saw cichlid and had to follow.
Yeah, heck yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it. Need all the followers we can get. I need to try
Sad
to make money.
Smiles
on this thing.
1314, very informative. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Like I said, I'm not an expert. I'm just like everybody else. I just get in depth, and any knowledge that I know, I like to share it with other people.
Research.
I do a lot of research. How would you say investigating? I investigate on stuff, and I'm the type of person that if I get into something, I'll get into it real deep until I get bored with it. I'll get so deep into it that I'll learn everything I can about it. I'll get bored with it. Hell, I won't even be able to sleep until I figure it out. But this is one hobby. You just keep learning. As soon as I get all these, believe it or not, these are the most freshwater tanks I've ever had. I had a couple saltwater aquariums. I miss my saltwater aquarium. I can't wait to get one up and running again. There's nobody in town that messes with, no pet store in town messes with saltwater aquariums. So I have to pretty much do everything online. Get the salt, mix my own water, get my own RO system. All that takes money, so that's going to take time. But I miss it. We had a hurricane. I lived in Placido, Texas, and we had a hurricane that came over us. Not Harvey. This was before Harvey. This was probably 2001, 2002, 3, somewhere around there. And I had a beautiful 80-gallon Claudette. That's it, Hurricane Claudette. I had a beautiful 80-gallon reef aquarium. Beautiful, beautiful. I have beautiful corals in there. Anyway, the hurricane came by, and we lost everything. I lost probably, I would say $5,000 in coral and fish, and I just didn't get back into it after that. I put a bad taste in my mouth. Fresh water, it would put a bad taste in my mouth too, but everybody knows saltwater aquariums, you put a lot of time and effort in them. And it takes a lot of money to get them going. Once when they're going, they're a breeze to keep going. They are. It just takes a lot of money to get going. You got sumps, you got skimmers, you got dosers. all kinds of stuff. But once when it gets going, it's pretty much self-contained. One thing I do want to ask, a lot of people watching, what do you think about me only changing my water every 6 months? You wouldn't believe the hate and comments I get, and people don't believe me, but I only change my water once every 6 months, unless I get a spike in my readings. If I get a spike in my readings, then I'll do a 20 to 30% water change. If those spikes continue, then I'll do a 50 to 60% water change, and then I'll leave it alone. And usually it'll line itself out. But I haven't had any of those problems. I've had that problem once with the 55 gallon. And once when I set up the African Cichlid tank, the 125. But after that, I haven't done a water change. But I don't do a water change but every 6 months.
Sav Smiles 1314, my 30 gallon, I've achieved closing the nitrogen cycle, so technically don't need to do any water change.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Either, but my new driftwood is still leaching tannins, so
Boil
I still
it.
do.
Boil it. Boil your driftwood. And if you use 2 gallons of water, use 2 tablespoons of sea salt when you boil your driftwood.
They're too big, he said.
Oh. Well, I live in South Texas. Everything's bigger here, so I got a big old pot. I got a big old crawfish boiling pot for crawfish boils. That's what I use. So I put big pieces of wood in that. But that's why. I mean, if you want your tannins to go out, that's what you have to do. Honestly, if it's too big, find a tub. Find a wash basin or even a bathtub and and boil water and then pour it in there with it. You know, you could take a 5 gallon bucket and put it in a 5 gallon bucket, boil water and pour it in there. And then you'll see the tannins come out. You wait for about a day or two, you'll see the tannins come in there. And then you'll see the tannins come out. You wait for about a day or two, you'll see the tannins come out and you'll see the dark water. You take it and you do it 2 or 3 times. And then that'll work. Even if you do have too big a piece of wood. That'll work for you. But anyway, what do you all think about water changes? I see guys and
He said, with my smaller pieces, I boiled them for 4 hours and they still leach for 3 months.
oh my God, what type of wood? Not spider wood. Must be that African wood or something, that dark African wood. Yeah, I got some of that. I've been wanting to use, but I've been dreading it because, man, I've boiled it for I've boiled it for a while. I've even had it sitting in salt water for probably 2 months and it's still leaching. So I don't know if I want to use that or not because I don't like black water tanks. I don't care for them.
He said it's the darker kind. I don't remember the name.
Yeah, I remember. I have a learning disability. I have ADHD, PTSD. I have several other things, but I have a hard time retaining things and remembering like words. So just bear with me. I get tongue-tied and stuff sometimes, so just bear with me on that. But yeah, my saltwater, my African Cichlid tank isn't heavily planted. I mean, it's not that planted real heavy or nothing, but I only have to do water changes every 6 months. I'll do, when I do a water change, I'll do 30% water change, 20 to 30% water change, but every 3 to 4 months, and I have canister filters. And I'll take, my floss is on top, but I'll take everything out and I'll rinse all the filters off, put them back, and then I'll take the Purigen and the filter floss out of the top, and then I'll replace it with new, and then I'll put it back. I'll do that every probably 3 to 4 months. Now, if I do notice that my flow has gone down on my return nozzles, then I'll go ahead and I'll check out my filters. Or if I get a spike in my readings, I'll go ahead and I'll look at my filters. One time I had a spike in my nitrates and my ammonia, and I couldn't figure out why. Well, I took my filter apart. I did the 30% water change, put it back. Come to find out, 2 of my African cichlids had a mouthful of babies. When they released them, they got sucked up into my filters, and then they died, you know, and that caused a spike in my, you wouldn't think it would, but it did. It caused a spike in everything. So I had to change that. So it's probably best to use pre-filters. But, all right, it's been an hour and a half. I guess it's been fun. I appreciate everybody tuning in.
Thank you for everything. Gotta head back into work. Javon Guerrero 89.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it, everybody. I'll be putting out more videos. I just got to get used to everything. I appreciate you tuning in. If you have any questions, please message me directly. I don't mind. I answer every comment. I try to answer every comment I can. And if I miss yours, please, I'm sorry. But you can message me directly. And like I said, I'm not a professional. I don't claim to be. I just do a lot of research on this stuff. And what I learn, I'll just share it with people that don't know. Okay? All right. Well, aquarium peeps, love you. Take care. And we'll see you next time. Stay fishy. Hit the end.